Let's Play experience. As always, I hope you're having a good day, and thank you so much for joining me. Before we get started today, I'd just like to remind you to leave a quick like and a comment on this video if you do like it, because every little bit helps. And if you want more content, you can also subscribe or follow me on Facebook and Twitter. Both of those links are in the description below. In this episode, I plan on finishing our new base location, island, so way over there. Just the island, not the base, but gonna finish up that island. Getting to work on Botania, as well as progressing further with blood magic. Our dirt problem from last episode has been temporarily solved by Nicole's Coast Village project. Remember, she wants to remove all this land and make this into a coastal village. As you can see in this drawer here, just from the digging we've done here already, which I helped a fair amount with, we have nearly 9,000 dirt. If you're wondering, by the way, how you can show the number of an item in a drawer, all you have to do is craft the quantify key from storage drawers. The recipe for that, book and quill and a drawer key. The recipe for that, gold nugget, 2 gold ingots, and an upgrade template, and this one just sticks around any type of drawer. So, yeah, nearly 9,000 dirt already, just from this digging project. That's pretty awesome. So, before we hop into the rest of the episode, I have something to share with you regarding the Iron Backpacks mod, which is the mod that I use for these backpacks. You can see here I have a new backpack that I named Building Backpack. This is a backpack with a basic filter, which means items that I put in the filter automatically get sucked up into the backpack, and a restocking upgrade, which keeps a stack of an item in your inventory. Now, if you use the Builder's Wand from Extra Utilities 2 with the restocking upgrade from Iron Backpacks, it will use more items from the backpack than it actually places. It deletes items. So, unless you want to lose your blocks, don't use the Builder's Wand with the restocking upgrade from Iron Backpacks. I tried it. It was bad. I lost a bunch of items, a bunch of dirt that I had gone out and gathered, and I was like, oh no, and then I asked Nicole if I could have some dirt, and she was like, yeah, we've got a lot of dirt. So, there you go. Yeah, so too long didn't read. Don't use the Builder's Wand with the restocking upgrade from Iron Backpacks, because it is bad news. One last thing before we move over to the island, an update on our egg salad machine over here. Our egg salad farm is going really, really well. If we go over here, I have not put a single piece of fuel in here since we built this thing. Remember, I only put 4 egg salad in here. And we have 5 stacks of egg salad already, not including the one that I have in my inventory. This little guy is awesome, and there are only 3 chickens. Like, I think there are 4 now, actually. I grew one up. But still, 4 chickens, 5 stacks of egg salad. Super easy farm, super easy solution to, super easy solution to food early game. Really, really great. One thing I will say about this farm is that it will stack up on whichever recipe is first before it crafts the end product, just because one item is coming into this place at a time. If you flood the system all at once with like a stack of eggs, then it'll create 8 egg salad out of a stack of eggs, but not really a big deal. It's just a buffer of mayo. I'm not really too concerned with that. Alright, all that being taken care of finally, I am going to gather myself up some dirt from the drawer over there, move over to the base location, and start laying down some blocks, and I will meet you guys over there. Oh, don't mind me. Just be placing dirt for the rest of my life. So much dirt to place. Well, I'll tell you what, after that, my right-clicking finger needs a break. That was a metric ton of dirt. My entire inventory and this entire diamond backpack were both full to the brim when we started, and now we're down to just a few stacks. Absolutely crazy. It's done now, though, and I've laid out the lights to ensure that no mobs spawn up here while we're working, so that's nice. Next thing to do is to get started with Botania, which is one of my favorite mods. There are a ton of neat and useful items and features from Botania, but what I want to get to today is the Pasture Seed. There are a few different varieties, as you can see here, but they all do basically the same thing. If you right-click on dirt with a Pasture Seed, grass of a variety matching the seed will spread rapidly from the point where you clicked, which is really useful, obviously. Otherwise, we'd have to go find grass, put it here with Silk Touch, make it spread very, very slowly. This will basically accelerate that process very quickly. There are a few things we need before we can craft a Pasture Seed, though. So I'm going to get a Lexica Botania, which is the guide to all things botanical, and meet you back here in a moment. To craft that, all I'm going to need is a book and any variety of sapling, so that should be pretty easy. See you in a second. As I said, I've made myself a Lexica Botania. This book has all the recipes and instructions in the mod, so to get started, this is definitely something you're going to want to look through. It even has a handy tutorial. However, I've played through Botania a couple times before, so I'm just going to jump right in. To get to the Pasture Seed, which is what we want to do today, you're going to want to grab some grass with some shears and throw them into a mana pool with some mana in it. The mana pool is made with living rock, and living rock is made with a pure daisy. So a pure daisy is made by combining mystical white petals in a petal apothecary. This is a pretty easy crafting recipe. The white petals are gotten from mystical white flowers. Now, mystical flowers spawn all over the world when you have Botania installed, so they're not super hard to find. However, if you don't want to spend an hour or so looking for them, there is an easier way. You can get yourself some Floral Fertilizer. If you use Floral Fertilizer on dirt or grass, it will spawn mystical flowers for you, similarly to how bone meal on dirt or grass will spawn grass and vanilla flowers. You can get this one of two ways, either by using dandelions and poppies with bone meal or floral powder. Floral powder is gotten just by combining one of the petals from Botania with a pestle and mortar. Pestle and mortar, just a stick, a plank, and a bowl. I've already got myself one, and I will demonstrate like so. You just craft the petals with the pestle and mortar, get yourself some floral powder. If I do this a couple of times, you can see that I have 4 floral powder now. So you get 2 petals from each flower, and then you can use those to make floral fertilizer, just like this. This stuff, when you right-click it on dirt, as I said, get some mystical flowers. Pretty cool. So I'm going to do this until I have 1 flower of each variety. And when I do have 1 flower of each variety, there are 16, by the way, 1 for every color in the Minecraft rainbow, I'm going to show you another way to get petals out of these flowers. Alright, that only took a few minutes. We've got 1 of each variety of flower. Awesome. So, how are we going to deal with the flower shortage? It's pretty simple, actually. If we... let's see if I have iron around here somewhere. Here we go. We get ourselves a pair of shears, and we grab ourselves a flower petal, and we can either use bone meal or... actually, I have a overgrow spell that does bone meal effects. We plant those flower petals, and then we grow them with bone meal. You get tall mystical flowers of the same variety that you planted. If you shear those, you get those flowers back, obviously, and if you craft those, you get 4 petals for each one. Awesome. So now we don't have to worry about running out of petals. That's 1 step completed. I believe something that I would want at this point is a flower pouch. This will hold all of the flowers that we get from Botania, which is a really cool thing, actually. We have some string here, so we need 5 pieces, I believe. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we need a petal, which we have. If I craft this flower pouch, bam. We can put flowers in here. Now, obviously, we're not going to be using the flowers much because now we have a way to get petals otherwise, but eventually it might come in handy. Like, when we're out exploring, this will automatically pick up flowers, just like our backpack automatically picks up mining materials. So that's really good. Now, that's completed. That's something that we've done. The next thing we're going to look into is the Pure Daisy. The Pure Daisy, like I said before, 4 mystical white petals in a petal apothecary. The petal apothecary is some cobblestone and a petal. I think I've got some cobblestone. I do. Craft some slabs. And we can just craft one of these guys. Don't need multiple of them at this point. Not a huge deal. I'm also going to need, now that I think about it, some seeds. Because how this works... Well, you know what? I will go grab some seeds, and I will meet you back here to show you how it works. And through the magic of editing, we now have some seeds. So how this works is you throw the crafting components into the petal apothecary. That's 4 white petals. And you can see it shows you that it's an adequate recipe. Then you can see under the check mark there, plus seeds. If I throw seeds in here, it consumes the components and the water in the petal apothecary and gives me a Pure Daisy. So you're going to want to have an infinite water source around to refill this thing. There are ways to automate that later. The Pure Daisy is your most basic flower. It does 2 things primarily, although it has a lot of recipes. If I hit U on the Pure Daisy and JEI, you can see all the recipes. Stone into living rock, wood into living wood, netherrack into cobblestone, soul stand into sand, ice into packed ice, a blaze lamp into obsidian. That's an interesting recipe, actually. I'm thinking obsidian farm pretty easily there, actually, and water into snow. So you can do a lot with the Pure Daisy, but its primary uses are for stone and wood into living stone, or living rock and living wood. All you do is place 8 blocks around the Pure Daisy, and 1 minute later, we have living rock. So, living rock is used for quite a few things in this mod, and you can just mine this with a normal pickaxe. Apart from being a very pretty looking block, it's used for all sorts of things. Used for mana distributors, mana tablets, used for mana mirrors, alchemy catalysts, botanical breweries, red string container, red string dispenser, red string nutrifier, all sorts of stuff. Like, just, it's a very diversely skilled block. What is this zombie noise that I keep hearing? I have no idea. There's a cave right below me or something. It's quite annoying. Anyway, so that's what that's used for. Now, the mana pool. 5 living rock in a boat formation. Bam, mana pool. What do we use the mana pool for? Well, according to the recipe for the Pasture Seed, we throw grass into the mana pool, and we get a Pasture Seed. However, you can see this blue stuff in the mana pool, and that's not water. That's mana, thus mana pool. How do you get mana? The Lexic of Botania can be very enlightening. If you go here, and you look at... here we go. And we look at generating flora. There are a bunch of flowers that you can craft that make mana. The most basic of them is the Endoflame. The Endoflame is very easy. You just give it coal or any other burnable, and it will make you mana. These require 2 brown petals, a red petal, and a gray petal in a petal apothecary. The other thing we're going to need to get the mana from the flower to the pool is a mana spreader. The most basic mana spreader is 6 living wood, a piece of gold, and any petal. So, we can start this right now, the wood. If you just lay out wood around the pure daisy. You can see the particle effects, and that'll turn into living wood, just like the stone turned into living rock. And then we're going to need... What was it again? Endoflame. We're going to need 2 brown petals, which is just 1 flower, or how we're doing it, you know, half of a tall flower. 1 red petal and 1 light gray petal. So if I open up my flower pouch, grab a brown, a red, and a light gray, we want to make sure that we plant the other one of these, by the way. So, light gray, red, brown, seeds, endoflame. And you can see I got an achievement, Electric Magic. Very cool. So now I've got some living wood. You saw it happen just there. I do not actually have an axe, so I'm just going to use my CAD to break these blocks. And then we're going to make ourselves a mana spreader. 1 of these, 1 of those, and 6 of these gives us the mana spreader. So how this works is interesting. The mana spreader can be pointed a bunch of different directions. For now, I'm just going to set it down, and it's going to point into the mana pool. To change the direction that it points, we're going to want a Wand of the Forest, which is just some living wood twigs and 2 petals. Do I get 2 out of this? I just get 1. So I'm going to need some more living wood. You can see that we're already using this pure daisy quite a lot. I'm going to set these down while we work with the rest of this. However, we don't really need that for this step right now. So this mana spreader points into the mana pool. This endoflame goes anywhere around the mana spreader. I'm not sure what the exact range is, but it's actually quite large. So if we throw that down there and then give it something to burn, say, for instance, a piece of coal, then it will accept the coal, or my magnet will suck it up instead, and put it in my mining backpack. It will accept the coal and give us some particle effects, and that is feeding mana into this mana spreader. And then you can see there, just gave us a mana burst. So that mana burst from the mana spreader fills up this mana pool. And these things may look small, but they hold a ton of mana. An absolute ton. So, while that's cooking, let's go grab ourselves a piece of grass, and we can make our pasture seed. Alright, I went out and got myself some grass. Just went right over there and sheared some. You can see here, if I hover over the mana pool with this grass, it has a little X where the arrow is. That's because there's not enough mana in here to craft the pasture seed. So we're going to need some more coal. And this can be sped up, obviously, by making more endoflames. We need 3 of these, and some petals, which I'm just going to use my overgrow spell to make some of these, use my shears to grab those, use these in here to grab more petals, and I'm going to craft a wand. 3 of those, 2 of those, and we have a Wand of the Forest. It has 2 modes, bind mode, function mode. Bind mode allows you to bind things together, and it also, when you're holding the wand, you can also see how much mana is in things by right-clicking on them. So that's very cool. Function mode allows you to do things with the wand. So we're going to need a lot of coal. I'm just going to grab all of it and throw it one by one. I could always make more endoflames, and I probably will end up doing that, but for now, I think I'm just going to, just to get the pasture seed. So there you go. We've already got enough, actually. I'm just going to do it this way. So if I throw this in here, we have a pasture seed. So I could right-click this on this dirt right now, but I'm not sure if that's the one of all of these that I want to use. You can see there are quite a few different varieties. I'm thinking either the Vivid, which requires some Cactus Green, or the Infused, which requires Prismarine. I actually have a Prismarine shard from fighting some Guardians, but I don't have Cactus, so I'm not sure which one I want to use yet. Let me hop into a creative world, see what those look like, and I will be right back. Alright, I've hopped into a creative world, and out of all of the varieties of Pasture Seeds available, I think I'm actually going to stick with regular vanilla grass, especially because we are in, as you can see under my minimap, a cherry blossom grove, and I believe the grass here looks pretty nice. Now, if I change my mind later, we can always swap it, but for now, we're going to right-click with the Pasture Seed. Ready? And you can see that this spreads pretty darn fast. Just gives you a good seed of grass. Now, if I wanted more, then obviously I could just go grab some more grass, drop it in the mana pool, and do this, which I think I'm probably going to do off camera. Because, guys, I think we've reached the end of the episode. It's been a good one. It's been a long one. I hope you enjoyed the time-lapse, by the way. Didn't really mention that, but a little bit of a time-lapse for you there. And I think that it was a really good episode. In fact, I would venture to say that it was probably my best episode yet. Like, of everything I've uploaded on YouTube, this video is going to be the best quality, more than likely. And from now on, you can expect this quality of video at all times from me. Also, I hope you enjoyed the new intro. I'm really excited about it. I hope you are too. If you liked this video, leave a like and a comment down below. Subscribe for more content all the time. And as always, this is Mizuna, signing off.